If I could have everybody's attention here in the Media Center, we are going to continue on with our media availability today with a driver that really needs very little introduction, if no introduction, but we're going to introduce him anyway. Jeff Gordon, driver of the number 24 Exalta Penn State Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Big weekend for you, having those Penn State colors on the car with Exalta. How does it feel to be part of the Penn State family here in Pennsylvania?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, we had a chance to go over to Penn State and visit with the students and the faculty and, you know, a group of engineers that, you know, are doing so much, you know, to be the future of companies like Exalta or the future in racing. And so it's been, I think Exalta has done some amazing work this year with how they've interacted with their customers, as well as reaching out to, you know, we did it last year with Texas A&M, and then this year with Penn State, and it's been very, very productive and successful for them. And then, you know, them also being the title sponsor for this weekend, they're doing some great work, and I'm proud to be associated with them. And, you know, Pennsylvania and here in Pocono, we've always had great fan support, not just myself, but just NASCAR in general. And I think after having Penn State and that blue and white colors on our 24 car, we're certainly going to have even more support. So pressure's on, but at the same time, we're just excited about that relationship.
We're going to open up the floor now to questions. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start up here in the front and move our way around.
Mark McKeon, BRC 13. Jeff, your team struggled a little bit with consistency this year. Do you think coming to a place like Pocono, where you've had a lot of success over the years, kind of jumpstart your season?
I certainly hope so. You know, we've been working extremely hard trying to find the right balance that we need. You know, just really been struggling getting the front grip that I need. You know, and it's really been breaking up the corner, and so we. You know, it's something that's thrown us off a little bit, and we felt like we were making gains and started putting some solid finishes together. And then, you know, we went to Charlotte and Dover and weren't real pleased with it. So we were having a really solid day here today. I think I can give the team a lot of credit for just never giving up and working as hard as they can to give me what I need, and I'm trying to communicate with them the best I can to try to find those gains, you know, and the things that we've been missing, and hopefully the performance shows and starts to improve, and then we can put all the other pieces together to get ourselves a victory. And so far today, I've been pretty happy with the car. You know, qualifying trim and race trim, felt like the car. You know, we're just needing to work on some small things instead of trying to find, you know, any large chunk in any one area.
Okay, we're going to go to Jeff, then to Bob, and then this gentleman here in the green, and up here to Chris.
Jeff Clark from USA Today. I understand you're on the Drivers' Council, or were in that meeting last week.
Yes, that's right.
Can you tell us what that experience was like? I mean, I assume that you haven't had a ton of organized meetings like that throughout your career with NASCAR.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think this is one of the coolest things I've seen happen in this sport since I've been in it. You know, I only wish it had happened long before my final year. You know, I think to have an open line of communication between the drivers and NASCAR, you know, and just always, I think we're all on the same page and always trying to pursue the best for the sport. But we've done it in you know, a different way, where either individually you go and have those discussions, or you know, it's happening you know, via other routes, and to be able to sit in a room and have a lot of drivers that have you know, a unique perspective on it. I thought the panel was fantastic. I thought the openness of the conversation was amazing, and you know, I thought that it was all very, very positive.
Bob Hockris, ESPN. Kind of piggybacking on that question, do you know, is there a spot for a recently retired driver on the council starting next year, or is that something that you wouldn't be interested in remaining on?
It was one of the reasons why I hesitated in being a part of it, just because you know, I wasn't sure what the terms were and if they wanted me on there, but I really like the way that we went about choosing the drivers that are on there. I thought that having the drivers choose it and having certain categories and ways to go about it, and just the openness that NASCAR had to pursuing that, I think it's awesome. I really do. I think it's one of the greatest things that I've seen. When I look at maybe top 10 things that I see happening in this sport, this is one of them. I mean, I sat in that room and was in awe and just wowed by this step forward. So, I'll do whatever they want me to do. There's certain criterias that you have to meet to stay on the panel that you could get voted off if you don't make the meetings. And so, to me, I want to do everything I can to continue to share my passion for this sport and thoughts and ideas, and that's certainly a great way to do that. I don't remember if it ends at the end of this year or if it's a 1 year thing from the first meeting. I can't remember how that all happens, but if they want me, I'll be on it. If they don't, I totally understand. There's plenty of great drivers that are going to continue to take that to the next level of the years.
We'll go right here, then up front here to Chris, then back to Zach.
Kyle Magda, Wilkes-Barre Times leader. Jeff, running the Penn State colors this weekend, what does it mean to you to be representing all of the Penn State faculty, students, and alumni this weekend, running at a track that you've had so much success at?
Yeah, I guess the first thing that just sticks in my mind is just the thought of the fan base that we have in Pennsylvania and that we have for many, many years. And now looking back on it, recognizing that a lot of those NASCAR fans or 24 fans are also Penn State fans or maybe students or people that are associated with the school in some way. So, it really sunk in when we went to the campus and saw the excitement of that campus when I drove, this Penn State blue and white 24 car on campus and was able to do some little burnouts and different things and rev up the engine and drive around there and wave to all of them and get all the cheers and stuff going on. It was awesome. And so that to me got me really motivated for this weekend. I think the car looks great. I like that it's running good. And we know that there's even added pressure, just like when we did the thing with Texas A&M. There's added pressure to go out there and get it done on the racetrack to make them proud of the car that they're being associated with and being on that 24 car. Yeah, thanks.
Chris?
ChrisKnightHMS.com. Jeff, there was some concern after practice that the dome turn was slicker than it was last year, more rougher. Did you experience anything like that?
It's not slicker. It's rough. Really rough. I don't know. Last week in Dover, I thought the bump going into 3 was rougher there too. So I think a combination of how the teams are pushing the springs and the shocks and aerodynamics in the platform of the car, and then it does seem like that there's been some areas that have settled a little bit more than I've seen in the past. And it's extremely rough. It's going to make it an interesting race for sure. And it seems like at speed you can get through there and get over it pretty good. It gets your attention, but if you're inside of a car or something like that, it's really going to get your attention. So we'll maybe see what we can do to address that when we leave here, if there's something that can be done, because it did catch a lot of us by surprise. But I don't know, it might make for a great race, and add some unique challenge that we weren't expecting.
We're going to go to the back to Zach and then come back to the middle here.
Yeah, Jeff. Zach Albert, NASCAR.com. Last weekend, Jimmy inched that much closer to Dale Earnhardt on the all-time win list. He seems to have a sense of, the historical significance of that. What did that milestone mean to your career in terms of what it meant then and still like what it means to you now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I having the opportunity to race with Dale and know his greatness, what he meant to the sport, how tough he was as a competitor and how many races he won. It overwhelmed me that I ever got to that mark. because to me, when I started following the sport, it just seemed like he was winning everything. So, and had done it for a long time. I mean, Jimmy is, it's just a matter of time, really, for him to this will be just one of the many records he continues to break and surpass, and putting his name in the record books as one of the all-time greats. So, it doesn't seem like that's going to slow down anytime soon, and it's hard to put it in perspective maybe when you didn't get much of an opportunity to race against somebody like Dale, but I know how much it meant to me to know him as a friend and a competitor. But Jimmy's got a great sense of the sport and what he's doing, and I know how much it means to him. So I know that something like that will mean a lot to him as well. And I hope he gets a proper respect when that day happens.
We're going to come over here to the middle and up front to Claire.
Zach Sterniolo with the Pocono record. Obviously, Hendrick has had its fair share of dominance here, especially winning each of the last 5 races here. How likely do you think that is going to continue this weekend here?
Well, I certainly hope it continues. We've always prided ourselves on power, paying attention to detail. There's not a lot you can do anymore with gearing and even the box that we're in with aerodynamics and adjustments in the car is narrowed slightly, except for the track bar adjuster. But we've seen this year where track position's big, those restarts are huge, and I had the bump in there. It's the competition. I mean, there's a lot of different competitors that can win right now. I mean, we've seen how strong the Martin Truex Jr. has been lately. So. I'm certainly hoping that we continue our Hendrick dominance and streak here, and maybe this is our opportunity to get ourselves locked into that chase. But right now, for us, all I'm focused on is just performing better, each and every week, and stepping up what we're doing and get a direction that we can go in a positive way, so that we can make gains on not just trying to get ourselves in the top 5 or into victory lane, but do it on a consistent basis.
Go to Claire.
Claire Beeline, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. You were saying the rough tunnel turn might make it an interesting race. I know for sure you don't know exactly what will happen, but can you define that? Like, will you guys be able to adapt? You were talking about the settings some. Everybody knows it's sort of been a little bit of an issue, or is it something you really can't address until...
Yeah, I go old school Humpy Wheeler when I think bumps in tracks. At Charlotte, there was always what they called the Humpy bump, and a lot of people think that they put it there on purpose just to make it more challenging and create some drama in the race. I'm not saying they did that here, but I'm just saying that when you have a challenge, like a bump that's in a crucial part of the corner, right in the center of the corner, where you're getting back to the throttle, and you have double file restarts, you want as much room around you as possible for the car to hop and bump and be able to be forgiving in that area. If somebody's pinning you down and they're on the outside of you, you hit that bump wrong, or if you miss the heights a little bit on the splitter, the car could jump out from underneath you pretty easily and create some interesting moments over there.
Well, Jeff, we really appreciate you taking the time today, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.